some stories are painful to tell. This is Eve Ducks, real life, real pain, real truth. Today I want to talk about a subject that is so hard, and I've never talked about this ever. I've kept everything within me. I've never shared this with anyone, even the people closest to me. I want to talk about this, not because it's easier or it's easy to talk about, but it's because I know that someone outside there would want to hear this, or someone out there is going through this and or has gone through this and is now dealing with the aftermath. So this video is a little bit sensitive, so please take care of yourself as you watch me narrate this story in this video. I was 7 years old. At this time, my life had already changed so much because my mother already died, my sister already died, and I was only left one child being raised by my father. And my father at that moment was also very sick. Actually, he was bedridden. He couldn't go anywhere around that time. As a child, I was only trying to survive, trying to understand life, trying to make sense of the kind of life that I was living, the lonely life, you know. We didn't have many people around us. Even family members were not coming to visit us, much often. Most of the times we were just alone, me and my father. And most of the time I was really always very hungry because my dad couldn't go outside to bring food anymore. So getting food became even a problem. But then there was this one man, my father's friend, who kept coming to our house to visit my father. So I started seeing this man as a friend, as a family, you know. I started, seeing that this man had our interest at heart, and I started getting used to seeing this man and getting used to being around this man. So this man would, come with food to our house, and which would be quite life-saving for me, especially because my father would not be there, to cook for me. And I liked this man now because he would bring snacks, bring us milk. So most of the times this man would tell my dad, this man had cows that he used to milk the cows at his home, at his homestead. So he would tell my dad to give me a jug so that I would carry the jug to his homestead to bring my father some milk. And my father trusted this man so much. So my father would tell this man to carry me with him to go and bring milk, because that milk is what helped me survive, what helped us survive during those days. So I would follow this man to his homestead to bring the milk as a child. I never knew that this man, at the back of his mind, he had different plans with me as a child. I was just very innocent at that time. But whenever I would reach his homestead, things would not be the same like he said. Of course, he would give me the milk. Actually, he would put the milk inside the jug and put it aside. But then he had other different plans. So this man never had a wife. So he would tell me, he was all alone at his homestead, and he would tell me like he had some magic to show me. And as a child, I loved magic. Like, I loved magic. Kids love magic. I would feel, a little bit confused, a little bit anxious, curious, and all of that. And considering the fact that I trusted this man, and I would be like, okay, show me the magic. And that is when this man would unleash his evil characters, which is not okay for a child at all. At that time, I never understood that what he was doing was not right. But I remember feeling very uncomfortable and feeling very uneasy. I remember feeling like whatever was happening was not right. But he kept insisting that I should not tell my father about it, because if I told my father, he would not show me the magic again. And as a kid around that time, the word magic sounded really nice to my ears, and it was something, something different from the real normal life that I'm used to. And I would just look forward to the magic. Every time I would see that man come to my house, I would know that it's time for magic, and I would look forward to it. And he said clearly that if you tell your father about this magic, I'll never do for you the magic again. I remember he would use words like, just keep touching and milk will come out. And you take my hands, he would show me where to touch, and I would really wait for the milk. I would really be like, okay, where is the milk? When is the milk coming out? And around that time, I never felt like it's a big deal. For me, it was milk production for me, and the magic that the milk comes from his body. It was really, really like, it was really like, how should I describe it? It was like a real magic for me, actually. It was like a miracle for me around that time as a child. But truth is, it was not okay. Whatever he was doing was not okay. And around that time, I never knew that this was really hurtful to me. I never knew that this man was doing something very wrong to me. I never knew. But then, looking at it, this thing happened until my dad died. He told me that I should never ever mention that to my dad, because otherwise the magic will not happen again. So as a child, I believed him. I trusted him. So I never mentioned anything to my dad. Actually, my dad died and went to his grave without me telling him about it. And now the saddest part is that, well, after my dad died, that man also died, and this thing never stopped with this man. Also, now that my parents were already dead, I was just left now, just to be raised by the community. And this thing happened with other different people also, like in different occasions. Now, at some point, I remember also, now when I was a little bit of an adult, I was, I think around that time I was now, I was, should I say 15? Yeah, when I also encountered another one, people I trust. When it happens with people you trust so much, people whom you see as, people who should be your caretakers. So it happened like, someone would just ask you, when are your safe days? Around those times, I didn't even know what the safe days were. Okay, of course I'd been taught, but I never mastered all those things. And I was like, okay, maybe this person is asking me because this person is a medic, So, and this person tried to, do very hurtful things to me, but I thank God that I escaped. I was just hovering around, considering now I didn't have anywhere to go. And I also remember also another instance, like one person even promised me. Remember, these are people who were very close, people who I really trusted. Another one also like mentioned, like, I'm gonna get you a phone, a smartphone, and a laptop, which he actually did. He actually bought those things and brought them to me, and I refused, to give in to, the advances. And the person tried to force himself, but thank God, I know God. God always showed up for me. Just shouting. I just remember shouting a kid's name, and then the kid just came inside, and just like that, the whole story was, done with. And then the person took back the things that he bought for me, and then even chased me out of, his house, chased me out of the family. It was not easy. It was not easy. So all these things are things that I've just kept inside. And the only reason that has made me come out and talk about this thing is because my friend's child went through something, an ordeal, which I saw the way the mother was traumatized. And I felt like, okay, so this is something that people go through, and it's never easy to heal from that. So I have gone through that several times. I know, even as an adult, people go through those things. Even I also remember sometimes also when I was working, I was working somewhere also, and one of the bosses also tried to do things like that. I had to run away, leave my shoes. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's a crazy world. So I remember things like that happened. So if this story touched you in any way, guys, remember to hit that like button, and remember to also subscribe to this channel and comment down below on your thoughts about this story. It's a real life story. It's my own personal experience, and I know there are people out there who have gone through this. I'm here to tell you that it was never your fault, and you can choose to heal from it and move on, and live a normal life. You don't have to, sink yourself in self-sympathy. Just lift yourself up and, keep moving and keep living a happy and joyful life. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video. Watch my next video over here. It's also very interesting.